Hello and welcome to my channel. In this video, I wanted to talk about 5 things I've learned since going plant-based about 10 years ago. My name is Susan and I started this channel to talk about all things plant-based, show you what I eat, talk about philosophy, aging, travel, and more. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. It will really help me grow my channel, which I'm really excited about. So let's get into this topic. The first thing I wanted to talk about was when I went plant-based, probably I started 15 years ago. I went completely plant-based about 10 years ago. And since I've gone plant-based, I've felt so much better physically and mentally. I don't have any indigestion, no heartburn, which I had prior when I was eating meat, and I have more energy. My weight has stayed at least 10 or 20 pounds lower since prior to going plant-based when I was eating meat and dairy, and it kind of just naturally came off due to my plant-based diet. So that was really an added benefit to going plant-based. When I went to my immersion with drfuhrman, which I talked about in a prior video, the day I got there, they did some testing, so took blood work and all other vital signs, biometric screenings. They took my blood work to test my cholesterol and other important markers. And when I got the results, I had very elevated cholesterol, which was shocking to me. I thought, oh, I have great cholesterol or decent cholesterol levels. And sure enough, no, I did not. And pretty much they attributed it to obviously what I ate, but what I had eaten on the way to the immersion and the night before. I had kind of gone a little bit crazy. I had meat, I had a bagel with lots of cream cheese, and they said just having a meal like that can elevate your cholesterol right away. So that was really an eye-opener for me when I got those results on the first day. So that really stuck in my mind that, one meal or a couple meals can elevate your cholesterol. So just think what a lifetime of eating meat and dairy can do to your health. So that was kind of the first eye-opening exercise at that immersion for me. Most chronic diseases are up to 80% food and lifestyle related. If you get poor results from your doctor, you can reverse those results with diet for the most part, usually. And then the sooner you start to eat a healthier plant-based diet, the better, even if you aren't having any health concerns. And then you may never have those health concerns in the future. That's kind of what we all want. Number 2, I never thought about animals. So this is related to animal agriculture and factory farming. Before I went plant-based, and originally I just went plant-based for my health, but over time I learned more about the other harmful things that come with eating animals and dairy. I never thought about the welfare of animals before I went plant-based. And slowly over time, probably through watching videos and that kind of thing, I realized how horribly we are harming animals that we are breeding and raising just to kill so that we can eat them. And I know that sounds harsh, but I mean, that's the reality. So once I kind of became more aware and really got that into my mind that, that is something that we are doing, I really decided that that was really one of the reasons why I wanted to be plant-based, was to save animals. I like cats and dogs. I like horses. I had a horse when I was younger, but I just wasn't that kind of person that cared so much about animals. And now I just can't imagine eating an animal when there are other options available to us. I wanted to mention that on that topic of animal agriculture, 70 to 80 billion animals are slaughtered every year for our consumption. Did I say 70 to 80 billion animals are slaughtered every year? Crazy. So moving on to number 3, and it's kind of along the same lines, but factory farming and meat and dairy consumption really harms our planet. Livestock farming accounts for 14.5% of greenhouse gas emissions, according to the Food and Agriculture Organization. This is more harmful than all forms of transportation globally for our environment. So this is a topic that harms our environment, and it's, again, another reason for us to go plant-based and not eat animals to help save or improve our planet. And factory farms are usually in places a lot of times where it's very low income and there's runoff that harms people's water and causes diseases. It's definitely a practice that is not working for us or for our planet. So another thing for us to think about is factory farming and the harm it has on our environment and our world. Number 4 is our healthcare system. We are struggling with our healthcare system, and it's not working for us. We can't sustain the preventable health issues that we have due to our poor diets, especially in the US. So I think over 50% of us are obese in America. We have so many preventable diseases like heart disease, cancer, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes. Most, if not, I'd say 80% of these diseases are preventable. They never have to happen, and they definitely are reversible if you can change your diet. They are diseases of lifestyle and food choices. And we are at a point where our healthcare system cannot sustain the way we live any longer. And unfortunately, most doctors have very little nutritional training. So a lot of times they don't even talk about diet and nutrition and lifestyle changes. They just give us a pill and hope for the best, or they give us a statin, they do surgery instead of promoting lifestyle and diet changes. It would be so much less expensive and invasive if we were given the education to make changes to our diet and coached on changes that we can make to reverse, if we can reverse our heart disease by changing our diet, send someone to an immersion or, a nutritionist instead of, having them eventually have to have open heart surgery that costs, hundreds of thousands of dollars, or end up in a nursing home because they can't take care of themselves. So these issues are so prevalent, in my mind and in a lot of people's minds. And when we talk about healthcare and how our healthcare system is struggling, we need to think about what changes we can make to make things better. So this is another thing that I have learned over time. There are a lot of great documentaries that you can watch. What the Health is one, and Forks Over Knives was the original one that I watched that really brought everything home to me. It talks about, changes that you can make, and it actually illustrated with real people the changes that they made in order to lose weight, get off medications, and that kind of thing. And as I started to say earlier in this video, when I went to my immersion, when I left a week later, they did our blood work again, and my cholesterol was back to a normal cholesterol because I, for the whole week, had eaten plant-based, exercised. It's amazing how quickly you can turn things around with the plant-based diet. There were people there who actually had diabetes, high blood pressure, and more serious health concerns who were already, after the week, making advances in their health. Some people, after, a month or, 6 months or whatever, they can come off their medications after changing their diet. So these 5 things are so powerful when you really think about it. And they were and are still so powerful for me in my life. These are just 5 things that I wanted to talk about with you today that I've learned. I hope this will help you start your plant-based journey. Thank you so much for watching this video, and please like and subscribe. I'd love to hear your comments about changes you want to make or changes you have made, and I will reply to you in the comments. And thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.